Hello, and welcome to this tour of the resources on the library website. So we're happy to share this with you, especially because online resources are more important than ever this year with the unusual circumstances. So first of all, if you go to the library website, you'll notice a lot of links. And one link that might be good to point out first is Sora. And so Sora and Overdrive are the same thing, basically. Sora is for younger kids, and that is for ebooks. And so we have concentrated on chapter books in our Sora because we find that outside of these unusual time, there isn't a high demand in our community for picture books that are ebooks. They mostly want the physical picture books. But for chapter books, that can be great. There's not only can they be more convenient for some kids just because they don't have to have the physical book and they can have it on their e-reader that they take with them everywhere, or they can read it on their Chromebook or their other device. But it's also great because there's features like the dyslexic font, which is a font that's designed to be easier for people with dyslexia to read, and you can switch the books to the dyslexic font, or you can make the text bigger, or you can make it white text on a black background. And all of those are really great for students with learning differences. And so so we really focus on chapter books with our ebook collection. And we have a lot of ebooks here, and you can browse them. Your students can browse them. For faculty and staff, you should be able to log on just with the part before the @mcds.org in your email and your MCDS password. So for example, when I'm logging on with eHarney and then my MCDS password that I would use to log on to my email or Veracross or whatever. And for students, it's the same thing. And so except for student email addresses normally have that S at the end. So if I was a student, my email would be eHarneyS. And I would just type that in to log in, not the @mcds.org. So that's how you can access ebooks. We still, of course, have a lot of great resources in person in the library. And you can find those on our library catalog. So if you go to Follett Destiny here, you will see the library catalog. And you can see recently added books, popular titles, collections. You could search for a book, like if you want dog books, but this is really the interface for kids. You'll notice it has these bright colors and, it's great for the kids to look at. But there's also these collections down here, and these are books that we've put on a list that follow a certain category that we think students will like. And so these are really aimed at students on this version of the catalog, the Destiny Discover version. So for example, back to school. So students can click back to school and they can see these books here. If, for example, you are doing a unit with your kids and you are doing a unit on historical fiction or on books that take place in another country or dinosaurs, then we could easily make a collection for you that is available for kids to see on the website. So if they're a kid, they can log on to Destiny Discover and they can scroll down and see the collections, and they can pick the dinosaur collection, and then they'll know that they are picking books that are good for whatever assignment that you've given them or whatever interest you just think they might want to learn about. And we're happy to create that collection for you so that the students can browse it. We also, if you go to this little hamburger here on the upper left, you could go to Destiny Back Office, and that's really great for adults just because it's a more robust catalog with more features. So you can do a power search here and say, you know what, I want books that are about dogs, but I want them to be published after a certain year, and I want them to be for an interest level of 2nd grade, and so on. And you can really narrow it down further. And you'll also find resource lists that are aimed at teachers here. And so if you're a teacher in 1st grade and you're doing your identity skin color unit, you can click on that list and see what books we've pulled in the past. And if you want us to pull those books again, or if you want something else, we're always happy to create these lists for you, or in conjunction with you, if you have something that you teach every year in curricula and you want to have a set group of books that it's easy to keep pulling year after year, and we can also update it as we get new books into the library, then this is a great option for you. Just send us an email. We can set it up for you, no problem. So these are, again, more for teachers. And then in Destiny Discover, those are the collections, which are more for students. So we can either make a list for you or we can make a list for the students to view. Either way, just email library@mcds.org and that'll shoot an email to both of us. And we're happy to help you in that way. So you might be wondering about, it's great to see all of these in-person books, but how the heck am I going to get to them with the coronavirus everywhere? And so what you're going to do is go to book request forms, and there's lower school and upper school. So as a teacher, you can send us an email, and your students can too. We just thought it would be great to have a more structured option here. So if you go to lower school, you'll see lower school book request, and this is something that parents can fill out or you can fill out. And during distance learning, we're working to set up a curbside pickup program so students can still get books from the library. And during in-person learning, they would still fill out this form and we deliver the books to the classroom. So the students aren't coming into the library itself. So they're letting us know with this form. So we're trying to make the form available to students both who know what they're looking for and students who a lot of times they come in the library, they want to browse, they don't really know what they want. So we're trying to fill both of those needs. So you'd fill out the form, and I'm going to say teacher staff because I am a teacher staff. You can say what grade you're in, and you can say, I want a specific book, and you'd write in the title of your book here and say, if it's not available, do you want us to pick something similar? So say you're asking for Biscuit and the Puppy. If Biscuit and the Puppy isn't available, do you want another Biscuit book? And you can click yes or no. Also, if you don't know a specific title that you want, you could say, I want you to pick for me. And then you can say, you know what, I want picture books, and I want nonfiction books, and I want biographies. Why not? And I'm interested in learning about artists, and I'm interested in learning about dance, and I'm interested in learning about farms. And you could also, at the bottom, pick other. And so if there's a category that isn't listed here, we can't list all the available categories in the library, obviously. The form would be too cumbersome. So I could just say trains. I really like train books. Can you give me some trains? And you can say how many books you want and give us any other notes and submit the form, and we'll get them to you. So you can also, if you're in upper school, you can do something really similar. So upper school students, once again, and you'd fill out, are you a parent, teacher, staff, what grade you're in? And if you want specific books, it's pretty much the same as lower school. If you say, I want you to pick for me, then it's a little bit different just because the categories available to upper schoolers are different. So we don't want the lower schoolers to be able to check out like young adult books, for example, because those are really just for upper schoolers. So you'd say what kind of books you want. And then once again, the categories are a little bit different. There's not a specific unicorn category once you get in upper school, but if you want, you could always click other and hit unicorn, and also, in lower school, we don't have the dystopian option. We don't think that's going to be as appealing to lower school, but they could always type it in. So it's just a slightly different format that's hopefully more appropriate to those specific kids. But other than that, you say how many books you want, any other notes, and submit it. And again, you can always email us as well if that's what you prefer to do. So that's how people would be requesting books right now. Just to show you some other features of the website, we have the library blog where Tessa and I post occasional updates. We have the librarian picks blog, which is a favorite of mine. It's books that Tessa and I have read and we love them, and we just think, oh my God, we have to tell everyone about this book. And we'll put a recommendation for the book and we'll type about it on our blog here. And you can see our archives go all the way back to 2014. So there's quite a lot of books on here by now. And so that means it's great. If you really want to find a tearjerker, then boy, do we have tearjerkers for you. If you really want to find books that are good for fifth graders, you can see all the books that we recommend for fifth graders here, So there's those options. And we also have a student picks blog, which is similar, but the reviews are, of course, written by students. So this is something to consider if you have your students write reviews. You can always give them the option of, hey, there's that Student Picks blog on the website. If you want to submit it to Tessa and Erica, they can post it and you can be super famous with your review on the library website. And so you can always do that. So they would just fill it out via the form here, or there's also a tab under Student Picks, Submit Reviews, and the students would just basically copy and paste their review into that form, and then I'd put it on the website for them. And sometimes it's great to browse it and see what the kids are recommending and what they have to say about books. So you can either search it by, hey, I'm teaching the class of 2022. They're going to be new to me this year. Why don't I see what books the class of 2022 has recommended? They have not recommended as many books. Let's try the class of 2023. We have a lot more books in that class. So if you want to see what books they're enjoying in that class, you can see on the blog. And you can also see books that they recommend for fifth graders or books that are mystery or mythology or whatever they've recommended. So that's a great feature there. This new books tab, I absolutely love. So if, say, you are teaching and you pretty much, you know a lot of the easy readers that we've had in the library, but you just want to know, what have you got since the last time I've come into the library? What do you have that's new in the world of easy readers? Then you can go ahead and check on this category here, and you can always click it, and that will open up another page where you can see even more new easy readers that we have. And we update these periodically throughout the year with all of our new books in these different categories, like picture books and YA fiction. And that is a great option there. There's, of course, resources where you can look at the databases, and your students would have access to them as well through here. The login information should be under the tech login cheat sheet, but you can also always email me, email Tessa. That's always an option here. We love helping you. Don't feel bad. Never hesitate to email us. We're always happy to help, okay? Then you can also, if you go to, say you teach upper school, you want to see what other upper school resources, you can see, oh, what other upper schools, what's popular with them, what are they checking out right now? You can see our librarian book talks where we video ourselves talking about books that we've enjoyed recently and recommending them to the kids. Or also, you know, I like to read a lot of YA books just for my own personal enjoyment. So if you're looking for that, some kind of entertainment as a break from everything right now, that could be great for you as well. And lastly, of course, we have the parent and teacher corner where you can see parenting and teaching books, and also books that have to do with, you know, for example, our environmental goals or our DEI goals or other types of things that we have community education around. And you can always ask for us to get a book too. So it's not going to be the latest paperback fiction book, you know, but it will be books that are good for your own personal learning that has to do, well, with your work here on campus. And so that's a great option for you here where you can see those books. Of course, if you have any questions about anything that I've left off or you need any help with anything, we're always happy to help you out. Just email library@mcds.org and that'll shoot an email to both Tessa and to me. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you around campus sometime soon, or at least in a Zoom meeting sometime. Okay, bye.